Okay, so welcome to the review breakdown discussion, whatever you want to call it, about One Piece, chapter 1060. I went through the spoilers, and that was fucking weird for me, reading shit and then looking at the raws, but it's out unofficially on certain sites, and so let's just give it a little quick review. We start off with the cover page, which is a good little middle finger to anyone who's not caught up yet. I thought that shit was funny because, I mean, even if you don't know what's going on in One Piece, you can kind of make out who that person is, or at least you're going to be asking questions because it is a cool design. But if you don't know, you're fucking. Well, here you go. You know what I mean? And it says One Piece Film Red on the side, so I don't know what to tell you. You're late to the game, but you can catch up now. There's time. I mean, you have your whole life to catch up. I mean, as adults, we're so busy, right? How hard is it to make some time to make what 10 episodes a day to catch up in the next 5 years, maybe? Nah, it shouldn't be that long. But if you do want to catch up to One Piece, you're watching a review, so what the fuck? But for those people who are, this might want to get them interested and, enjoy the ride. Let them know. But this shit is pretty sick. But it's like, fuck you guys. The cover page is apparently, the second cover page is apparently a reference to an older one. I wasn't aware of that. I think it was pretty well done. I mean, Oda's done this before where I think it was the very first chapter where it's Luffy, Nami, Zoro, him doing the little jump up thing on the boat. He redid that for chapter, I don't know if it was episode 1000 or chapter 1000, but it was one of those milestones. And so this is what he likes to do. I mean, well, what can you say, man? I mean, it's pretty sick having everybody back together again. I said before, it is really weird having Jinbei there. I'm not the hugest Jinbei fan, and to be honest, he doesn't really feel like a straw hat. He feels like, I don't know, he feels like a step above a pet, because a step above Chopper, anybody's above Chopper. Okay, I don't care what people say. Chopper was cool for Water 7 and Drum Island, and ever since then he's a little dork. Okay, he's a little cutesy thing, a plushie with brains and slight personality. I would take Cone from Bleach over this thing, okay? Because at least Cone was, I don't know, a little spicy. The monster trio up front, if you can see that. I mean, people wanted to make fun of Sanji for always being the butt of a joke. I don't know why Oda likes to make him a joke, but it is the monster trio still. And Jinbei's in the back. He's more so the backbone. The three of them that are the most level-headed are Nami, Robin, Jinbei, and it makes sense that they're kind of next to each other. And so this is a cool page. Frankie's outfit looks pretty fire. I'm not gonna lie. It reminds me of his Film Red outfit that got leaked, where he's all skulled out and shit like that. Frankie is one of those characters where after the time skip, I did not like his design, but over time, once Oda figured out how to fix his hair and make him look a little cooler, he's grown on me a lot. He's really cool. He's better than Jinbei. I don't know why I'm shitting on Jinbei, but he's alright. He's alright. Like I said in the breakdown, this is a cool chapter in the beginning because we get to finally see the reactions of the Straw Hats to the world news. Now, I know Luffy likes to blue ball himself and the audience by saying, no, I don't want to know the rest, because Robin knows all, which leads me to believe, okay, because there's always this thing about Robin not telling the fucking crew vital things that she knows, because she knows a lot, especially being with Dragon. Vital shit that she knows and doesn't tell the crew about it. we're assuming that she doesn't tell the crew about it, or if she even said what was on the poneglyph in Alabasta and stuff like that, that only matters mostly to her and us, the audience. And so here we see Luffy outright refusing that information about the other parts of the world. I mean, that's later on in the chapter, but maybe it's Robin's reasoning to be like, oh, our captain doesn't give a shit. Why the fuck would I waste my time telling him shit he doesn't care about? And in essence, that's telling the reader, you know, you're going to have to wait. So Luffy is like surprised about Sabo killing Cobra, which we all know isn't true. We all know who Sabo is, okay? We all know that Luffy trusts who he is. And this is Oda's way of saying that he would never do it in a million years because he knows that he wouldn't. We find out later in the chapter that, yeah, Sabo was like, I didn't do that shit. Don't put the blame on me, all right, Dragon? I know you expect the worst of me. I still can't get over the fact that Dragon seems to know Sabo after a long-ass time and be like, I can't believe he would do this shit. Like, what was you thinking? Of course he didn't do it. What were you thinking? Bro, you don't have faith in your pseudo kid? Your pseudo stepchild? It's crazy how Luffy has more faith than Dragon. Deadbeat. Dragon as a character has really been in a weird place for me because we have this idea of who he is as like kind of a mystery, and he's somewhat so powerful, the most wanted man in One Piece, probably because of information that he knows, and maybe because he's strong. But when he acts like that, it's just very weird that he's a bad judge of character sometimes, and he let whatever happened at Baltigo and them pretty much running away as far as we know. And so it is unfortunate to see Dragon kind of bitch made sometimes, but I don't want to go too far by calling him bitch made or a fraud, fraudulent, a fake ass One Piece character. Caribou's on the ship doing his best TMZ type CP9 shit, and he's hearing this whole conversation because somehow, some way, the crew does not know he is there. And I don't know what the fuck they're thinking. I'm pretty sure they do know he's there because Frankie found him that one time as soon as he was on the ship. And so it leads me to believe that they don't care about him that much to want to do something about it. But if anybody should know he's there, it's Luffy, it's Zoro, Sanji, and Usopp, and Frankie. And they're not doing anything about it. And he's just in a barrel. But I'm so glad that it's him in that barrel and not that fucking rabbit. So Luffy is on site with this shit. As soon as he finds out about Vivi, about Sabo, he's like, let's go there right now. Let's go to Alabasta. Let's go to Marijoa. Wherever the fuck, I'm going to be there right now. And he's getting super emotional. And this is probably what I was referring to earlier, where Robin does not tell him everything because he is going off. He's going off the deep end. Now this is where Zoro has one of his more iconic moments that reminds me of Water 7 when he told Luffy to sack up and not take Usopp back on the crew right away without apologizing. And this is where he kind of claims his role as the right-hand man and tells Luffy, remember what you said about Ace? He said the A word. He said, remember what you said about Ace that one time? Don't forget it. And this it's a touchy subject, but Zoro has to let him know, like, you're getting crazy. We can't be going to all these places. Everyone has their own adventure, and he understands that. We all know that Vivi can handle her own. She's an honorary Straw Hat, and we had her on the ship for a while, and we know how capable she is. She's not the strongest, but she's not going to need help. She's not going to need saving. They know she's fine. And this is Oda's way of telling us that she's fine no matter what. And we're not going to go there, Luffy. Even though he's making this little face. This is the kind of face you make when the guy you hate the most makes a really good point, and you're just like, fuck. We now go into the chapter about Luffy's dream, which is not Luffy's dream, because we don't get to hear Luffy's dream ever since the ASL flashback when he told Sabo and Ace, ever since Rogers told fucking Whitebeard and Odin, whoever, we don't get to hear it. And this is what the name of the chapter is. I don't know why he did this, Oda. It's hilarious to think that we're so far in the series, so far into the time skip, that Oda does not want to tell us who Luffy really is as a person, because we don't really know. He just wants to be Pirate King to do something else, okay? That's the big misconception is people have, is that Luffy just wants to be the Pirate King, to be the freest man on the seas. No, that's a part of it. Luffy wants to be a Pirate King so he can do what he really wants to do with that power that he has. And so the fact that we don't know what it is still, this far, 1,060 chapters into the story, it's like, yo, when are we, when, bro? I'm like at the edge of my seat. I can't trust these titles anymore. I can't trust the spoilers. I can't trust nobody, not even myself. When I look this shit up and I'm like, damn, we don't get to see it. And honestly, it's pretty hilarious. It's like Oda's pulling tricks on his whole readers. And honestly, I don't care anymore. I've accepted that this is what's going to happen, and I don't care anymore. I'm just going to go along for the ride to the One Piece. Yes, sir. This is one of the hardest panels. I love this panel. This is like Luffy laying down, thinking about son of a bitch. Yeah, this is one of the hardest panels that I think is in the entire series. It's like a contrast to he laughed when Roger laughed, but instead of Roger laughing, it's Luffy napping. And this is a great little, it's kind of a nice little milestone that we'll remember, because we're definitely going to flash back to this moment later on in the series and hear what he had to say at this point instead of him reiterating. But yeah, this is dope. It reminds me of Goku, like in between the Cell games, when him and Gohan were just chilling in Super Saiyan 1 on the grass, and then Krillin throws a rock at him because he thought he was going to block it, but he wasn't. He just took it straight to the forehead. What'd you do that for? The biggest hints that we get are from the Straw Hats. So the Sunny has a reaction, which, what? I mean, is this a real thing? Like, this is a real thing now. We've always known that I forget if it was an SBS or in the top 100 poll, the global poll, that the Sunny is actually a Straw Hat pirate. It's sentient. It's alive. And so he has a reaction. Zoro has a reaction like he doesn't give a fuck. Jinbei is like a little concerned. So is Nami. Okay, so Brooke and Frankie are the most amused. Okay? They seem like they're very with it. So is Chopper, and to some extent Sanji as well. And then, of course, Usopp's always going to be afraid. But I think the most interesting one is Robin. She has like a face that I can interpret as being sort of shocked, but also like kind of like she's remembering something. Remember, she doesn't tell everybody what she knows. And so she might have heard something similar, maybe from Dragon, maybe from Sabo himself. Maybe she didn't think it was a real thing, but I think she has the most telling, because she seems very shocked and also intrigued. That's how I can explain her face. But it is a nice little teaser for the next, I don't know, 5 years. 5 years, maybe. If we're lucky, 3. I don't know. Maybe the series will end by then. But speaking of which, holy shit, dude. These chapters have been banger after banger after banger. There's a third banger and a sandwich full of bangers. And this is a total McGangbang. It's like taking a chicken sandwich, fucking a fish fillet, and a regular cheeseburger with the Big Mac sauce, and making that sky, land, sea burger. Call it the Kaido burger. And yeah, this banger ass chapters. And we don't know where we're going. That's the fun part, is now we don't know where we're going. We're getting that classic One Piece feel where we're going to the seas and we have one goal in mind, being Pirate King. And we don't have to deal with fucking Kanjuro, Momonosuke, Kinemon, even though they're... it's been so long since we had the crew together, sailing, doing pirate shit, and we're finally going to have fun again. Imu is in this chapter. The Gorosei is in this chapter. And probably the biggest, craziest shit that's going on in this chapter is what's going on in Luluisa Kingdom, which is, like I said before, someone said on Twitter, where I saw that Ace was chasing Blackbeard, and in his cover story, he ended up on Luluisa Island or whatever, and somebody saved him from drowning. So it is a nice little callback. Anyways, Sabo is there, and he's telling Dragon about what he saw on the empty throne. It was not empty. It was the opposite of empty. There was some dude on there. I'm pretty sure he saw a silhouette as well, because nobody sees anything straight in this fucking... Nobody turns the lights on in any room in One Piece, and so we can't see who is there. Sabo does not give any description other than there was somebody there, and he's the ruler of the world. Oh, and by the way, they're on his ass, tapping his Denden Mushi. Possibly an ancient weapon, maybe a replica, built by Vegapunk, and it is right over his kingdom. It is right over his head. He's about to get blasted, okay? He's about to get blasted, okay? And people are bringing up the fact that the number 16 is important because Doflamingo, a former celestial dragon, has an attack called 16 Holy Bullets. Something like that. And the amount of lightning rays that comes down on Luluisa Kingdom, eradicating it, is 16. And 16 apparently might be something significant to the celestial dragons, and because it keeps popping up in the weirdest places, only when it comes to the government actually. And so now there's a lot of theories about that going on. We'll see. Now everyone's going to keep that in their mind, like every time they see the Gorosei, every time they see architecture, Marijoa, where 16 pops up, people are going to be counting panels, counting this and that, counting how many sound effects. It's like it's gonna get deep, because Oda does get that deep, but the fans get deeper. Okay, we do not know if this is an ancient weapon created by Vegapunk, or the ancient weapon is... People are saying the map is the ancient weapon that he used to cross it off. I don't think so. I think he is doing that for us to see, maybe to deceive us, but we will find out eventually, because there seems to be some kind of aircraft, maybe an ancient weapon, over the kingdom in the clouds, and obviously we do not see what it is. It's a very confusing kind of power, kind of shift in the world of One Piece, because we don't know what it is. We don't know how long it's been around, if it's a new invention, because if not, then why not use this device to take care of things and islands where the government might deem a problem or a threat. And if not, why couldn't they just wait for Whitebeard and all his crew to show up on Marineford, and none of the Marines are there, they all evacuate, and then they just blast that shit to hell. Like, why wouldn't they do that? Because maybe it did not exist then, they did not have it, or none of the right precautions were made to actually do it. And it's probably something that they can't do often. Bonnie's in this chapter. Bonnie is one of my favorite characters. Actually, scratch that. She has the potential to be one of my favorite characters, because I love her design. I loved her in Saboti. What little screen time she had. We know all the connections that she has between Kuma and, she was in Mary Joa. She knows Zoro to some extent. So there's probably going to be some comedy right there, We can't wait for that. Cool power. We don't know what else she can do. I mean, it is pretty crazy changing the age of people. We don't know how old she really is. She could be like in her 50s and we wouldn't even know. And we also know that she has the 411 on what happened in Mary Joa during the reverie. She could tell them, or she probably won't, or she probably might keep it to herself. And because as far as they know, they do not know where she was, or they might not even know who she is. Most of them. Her bounty is still pretty low. She's not in the billions, and she's a captain. And despite her crew kind of being annihilated by Blackbeard and then got taken in by Akainu, her crew might still be up there. So who knows? But she has the potential to go up in value. And the fact that Akainu wanted her so badly that one time and got afraid that she left means that she either knows information or her devil fruit power is crazy, or she has some sort of lineage that makes her important. Maybe she's a celestial dragon. I don't fucking know. But yeah, crazy shit. Cool chapter. Love Bonnie. Love Robin. Robin looks sick. She has some nice outfits in this, better than Nami. And yeah, cool little review. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, like, and like to comment, and comment, subscribe, like. Thank you so much. Bye.